Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the Rambam, Hilchos Deos, Perek Zayin, the 7th chapter, Halacha Beis. Now, the Rambam has begun speaking about what's called a Rachel, someone who's a gossiper, a gossip monger. Now, the Rashi writes in the Chumash, what is a gossiper? It's called a Rachel, and a Rachel is like a peddler. And a peddler, what does he do? He buys his wares in one place, and then he goes around, he peddles them, he tries to sell them to others. As the Rambam is going to describe over here, this is exactly what the gossiper does. Ezeu Rachel, who is a Rachel? Zeshu Tayin Devarim, he gathers words, gathers information in one place. Va'ilech mizel, and he goes from one person to the other. Va'omer, he says, Kach v'kach amar Ploni, you should know Ploni said such and such a thing. Reuven said such and such a thing. V'kach shemati al Ploni, or I heard such and such a thing about Reuven. So he has information. He goes around and he shares the information. That's what he does. Now, it's not even necessarily over here that he's saying anything that's bad. He's just going and sharing information. That's no reason to go and share with anybody else. Now, even if he's saying the truth, he could be destroying the world at this point. Because since that the words that he's saying could be negative about the person that he's speaking about, or like we mentioned previously in yesterday's halacha, that even though in the case of Doeg, there was no intention over there to say anything bad to Shaul HaMelech, and yet still his words ended up causing a massive death that came to the world. So when you go around and you share information, that's no reason to share that information. You should know that you're responsible for destroying the world. Now, there's even a bigger sin than this. It's very great. It's included in the prohibition of rechilas, of being a peddler of information. Lashon HaRa, and that is evil speech. What is Lashon HaRa? When you speak disparagingly and you denigrate and you degrade your friend with those words, even though what you're saying is true. And this, says the Rambam, as we know, is one of the greatest excuses and mistakes that people make in the world of Lashon HaRa. They go and they say something really bad about somebody else, and the person might look at you with shock on their face. How can you say that? You say, what? It's the truth. You know what Reuven did yesterday? I saw it with my own eyes. I know exactly what he did. And the person says, because it's true. I would never tell you a lie. I'm only telling you the truth. But that itself is what Lashon HaRa is. And therefore, a person cannot say evil speech that degrades and puts down and casts a negative light on somebody else. But someone who says falsehood, lies, he's called a Moitza Shemra. He's spreading rumors about his friend. He's defaming the character over here. And therefore, says the Gemara, says the Rambam, that's even worse. That's Moitza Shemra. But if you have a Baal Lashon HaRa, someone who's a master of Lashon HaRa, he sits all day long. He sits in the coffee house all day long and he just schmoozes away about other people. Reuven did this. His father was not the best guy in the world. I heard such and such a thing about him. And all he does is say not nice things about such a person. The verse says about him, Yikaras Hashem madberes kol sisvei chalakos. Says the pasuk, HaKadosh Baruch Hu cuts off all of the smooth talking lips, medaberes gedos, that speak these big proud things. Says the Rambam, there basically are three prohibitions we're talking about over here. There's being a rachel rechilis, which is where you're taking information. You might not even had anything in harm when you said it, but you spread information that was not necessary for you to spread. It can bring about destruction of the world. Then you have Lashon HaRa, which is the evil speech, which is degrading things about another person, even if it's true. Then there is Moitza Shemra, which is when you are spreading lies and rumors. You're actually lying about this person. That's another level, a worse level. And then there is being the Baal Lashon HaRa, the person who sits around and speaks Lashon HaRa all day long. He is going to find himself in the biggest amount of trouble with the Rebbeinu Shalom. Have a wonderful day.